Welcome back to the channel. Some ITA Airways developments, JetBlue selling Airbus A321XLRs and Etihad Airways breaking records. Beginning there, the Abu Dhabi-based carrier has just concluded a record-breaking July, marking the busiest month for aircraft deliveries in the airline's history. What is a significant milestone for the ongoing fleet expansion program, the carrier welcomed 5 aircraft in total, the largest figure in its 22 years of business. During the month, 2 787s were delivered, one A351,000, one A320, and also welcoming their first and therefore inaugural A321LR to help further develop the single-aisle division. The airline's chief executive officer said the month was remarkable, and the sheer delivery rate highlights the intense program that is being put into place to help Etihad Airways serve more destinations around the world. Etihad Airways says the delivery of the 787 allows for the focus on long-haul operations with an emphasis on destinations across Asia, Australia, and North America. The usage of the A351,000 is different from the Dreamliner, the carrier confirming this aircraft, while used across the long-haul network, is pivotal thanks to its enhanced capacity, which means it focuses on high-demand routes. However, the standout was the delivery of the A321LR, the first for the airline as part of the introduction of a new type and with a fresh focus on the development of the single-aisle operation. The airline has long stated that the A321LR as a product aims to bring the wide-body experience to a plane on a much smaller scale, and with dedicated first suites alongside lie-flat business seats, it may not have as many as, say, other global A321LRs, but its configuration is something the airline believes necessary. Now, with the Etihad Airways fleet reaching 106 at the end of the month with an average age of 8.7 years, the company says it has one of the youngest fleets in the world, which they can leverage for better operational performance across the global network. The delivery of 5 new planes in a single month aligns with Etihad Airways' previously announced Journey 2030 plans. This is an ambitious undertaking aimed at developing the business with a key focus on the growth of employees, fleet, and other key areas such as the route network. Fundamentally, this represents the second major push in the last decade and a half, many arguing the first that came in the early 2010s was the undoing of the global airline. Decisions made during this expansion would go on to burden the business and unfortunately lead to financial woes that would lead to restructuring and billions of dollars worth of losses. The goal, as I'm sure you can imagine, in this Journey 2030 plan is to not have that happen, be more sensible with decisions, and plan more adequately for the future. Over to the next story. That's going to be with JetBlue, who have confirmed plans to sell 2 of their upcoming A321XLRs. The decision, which was published in their quarterly performance report, is a move made to emphasize not just fleet simplification, but modernization as well, which for you might seem odd considering the XLR is part of a new era of aircraft, but stick with me here as I go into their explanation. The quarterly earnings call is a fantastic way to understand the nuances of why specific decisions are made, and the chief financial officer said the sale of the upcoming 2 XLRs will dramatically help manage growth moving forward and also keep the balance sheet healthy. Only in 2024 did JetBlue decide to defer the delivery of new aircraft, which they say was worth $3 billion, into the 2030s, and this included mainly a focus on the A321's order book. Therefore, and I quote, inducting the A321XLR deliveries now would result in a costly orphan fleet of 2 aircraft through the remainder of the decade. Where these A321XLRs will head is unknown, but the series, which recently launched, is undoubtedly in demand with an extensive backlog, and its game-changing capabilities will be picked up elsewhere, and quite promptly, you'd feel. For JetBlue, they expected the removal of these planes alongside the deferral of delivery already agreed upon to enable greater utilization, whether that's up or down moving forward. Additionally, despite the confirmed changes, they feel they've always been known for an aggressive fleet, but they're aware there needs to be greater management to ensure long-term sustainability in what is a very competitive sector of the industry. JetBlue is fully targeting an efficient growth cycle, and owning its aircraft should lead to cost improvements across the board in due course. While the decision to sell some of its upcoming A321XLRs is obviously going to take most of the headlines, other fleet changes are also going to occur at JetBlue in the more short short term. The US carrier moving ahead with consolidation efforts, officially saying goodbye to the long-standing E190 series to simplify its fleet. They will move ahead with what they view as the dedicated replacement in the A220, which does mean consolidation will move from 3 types to 2, the A220 and A320 families remaining. As for the A220, well, it brings a higher gauge visible through 90% greater premium seat exposure and better fuel efficiency, with 25 to 30% improvements in operating costs per seat. With the 50th actually A220 arriving in the JetBlue fleet earlier last month, the fleet type represents the future and is at least driven by the deferrals, the primary aircraft we can expect to see delivered through 2029. The fleet actions being made are going to help preserve liquidity for the business. At the end of the second quarter, this reached $3.4 billion. And on to the final story, with ITA Airways formally progressing into a new era thanks to the approval by the board of directors of a 2026 to 2030 business plan. The plan, set to be implemented over the next 5 years, includes what the Italian carrier says are 3 fundamental strategic pillars. Firstly, the strengthening of the business will be paramount, alongside a focus on increasing the competitive position across the world. ITA Airways says it wants to establish itself as a reference carrier for the country it calls home, Italy, by innovating and offering efficient day-to-day ops. The carrier aims to deliver what it says is an exceptional service to both business and leisure travelers, while prioritizing economic, social, and environmental sustainability driven by expert management of the resources that are available to them. What will also occur will be the integration with Lufthansa Group, set to formally take the Italian airline into this new era as the 4th largest airline group in the world. An advantage of having this backing is it gives ITA greater ability to be competitive in new and emerging markets with additional support that may not have previously been possible. They say the plan puts great emphasis on network development. So in the next 5 years, a lot of growth will happen in the network. To make that possible, Rome will play a key role. The airline is targeting North America, South America, Asia, and African destinations, knowing it also wants to head towards not just global cities but underserved locations. Away from long-haul flying expansion, they also know that Europe and the Mediterranean are key markets to reach. Partnerships and the place within the Lufthansa Group will aid ITA in making this possible. A lot of attention has also been put on finding ways to innovate aboard its aircraft with new digital solutions and more that focus on the environment while still providing the best possible experience for those that are choosing to fly the national airline. Fleet is obviously going to be pivotal to make all of this happen, and as a result, the plan shows a requirement for new additional aircraft to join from 2026 onwards, and certainly an emphasis on planes with long-haul capabilities. As part of the strategy, they need to introduce new models while phasing out some of the older ones. Hopefully by 2020, it'll reach 100 aircraft and a complete reliance on next-generation planes. That'll conclude today's industry recap. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. Take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.